Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 121 of the Two Sweet Wrestling Podcast. About to jump into it. We got a lot of extracurricular stuff going on. We're on YouTube, well, we'll eventually be on YouTube at linktr.ee / 2sweetpod, but on Twitter Spaces right now. A lot of stuff going on. People can't make it. It'll all be up at linktr.ee / 2sweetpod. A lot of stuff to jump right on into. I'm not going to waste any time. If you're listening on Twitter Spaces, feel free to hit that speak button. The mic is open to anybody that wants it. I'll let you right on in. So, first thing we got up on the docket is Come On Man. Like the stuff in wrestling or sports that make you say, come on, man. First up on Come On Man, Adnan Virk. Man, this dude has been trending on Raw. Trending on Twitter, for all the wrong reasons. Last Monday on Raw, the dude said, as Braun was circling the ring, the man said, clear the tracks, we're gonna need a bigger boat. So, man, Adnan has been getting it from wrestling fans, bro. And what's evident is that he doesn't know the moves. And I put that on WWE. I put, not Adnan, because whose idea was it to put him, just to throw him right into the fire on Monday Night Raw on the quote unquote A show? That just wasn't a good idea from the start. Who thought that that would be a good idea? Next up on Come On Man, the Young Bucks. These dudes were out there in mink coats, black mink coats. Who are you? Sometimes I really think the Bucks try a little bit too hard to make you believe that they are heels. And this is just another edition of it. The mink coats, come on, man, and a mink hat. Come on, I don't know if it was Nick or Matt who wore the mink hat. But a mink hat on top of that. Next up on Come On Man, Floyd Mayweather. Bro, what are you doing? The undefeated Floyd Mayweather. The TPE. Going head up with Logan Paul. What is Floyd doing? I know the dude not hurting for money. He got plenty of money. What are we doing? I understand that Logan Paul is the latest sensation. YouTube sensation turned boxer, and he's making a lot of money off these events. But that's just the thing. Floyd don't need money. If Floyd gonna knock this dude out, that's gonna be that. But on the other side, man, if Logan Paul beat this dude, I'm just gonna quit sports. I'm just gonna give up sports, bro. Next up on Come On Man, the NFL draft evaluators. What are they doing? Justin Fields, I don't know whoever's gonna be listening to this podcast. I'm gonna make this quick. But Justin Fields is falling down draft boards, and I'm just trying to sit here and understand why. The dude is the second best quarterback in this draft. We'll see how it turns out tonight. But we got this Mac Jones type. Where did all that come from? When we got to the end of the season, Mac Jones was not even being talked about in the top of the draft. Justin Fields is just falling down draft boards, and I just don't understand it. Moving on to the last Come On Man of the week, Dexter Loomis. Bro, love the one you with. Just go ahead and love Indy Hartwell. What are you doing sending flowers to Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart? Come on, dude. Love the one you with, or she will be gone, fool. Give it up. Love the one you with. That's it for Come On Man. We're about to jump into the topics of the day, and I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to talk about Impact Rebellion, but more so, what's next? What is next for Impact as we move on? What is next for the title in particular? And I'm here to talk about Kenny Omega. Got two topics today on Omega, so you Kenny Omega fans, just come right on in and enjoy. Omega, man, he's the Impact World Champion now, and I'm just here to say that I'm going to expect him to be there on a regular basis. I need him to be there starting up feuds, just like if Rich Swann was the champion. I need him to be there every week, and I'm not here to say that Kenny Omega won't be here every week, but nevertheless, it's going to be exciting to see how they pull this forward with Kenny Omega being the AEW champion, Kenny Omega being the Impact champion as well. Like, I'm very interested to see what is the next feud. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be Rich Swann unless they do the automatic rematch clause. Nevertheless, like we got I forget the name. Under Siege. Impact Under Siege. You got that pay-per-view coming up. What will be the match for Kenny Omega? I don't know. You know what? I'm excited to see how they build this. Will Kenny Omega be there every week in Impact setting up feuds? I think he needs to be there every week until he loses the title. But I'm very, very interested to see who is going to take that title off of Kenny Omega, the Impact title off of Kenny Omega. Moving on to another Kenny Omega topic, as I look at Twitter Spaces here. If you want to chime in, just hit the speaker button. I'll let you in at any given time, and you can get off these wrestling takes anytime you want. Matter of fact, let me check to see if anybody has requested to speak here. Not yet, but nevertheless, chime in anytime you would like to. So we move to Kingston and Omega. Like, I think AEW, and I don't say this very often, I kind of think AEW is slightly dropping the ball here. But currently at the moment, we'll see what happens going forward. We got Moxley and Kingston versus Omega and Nakazawa, and I don't have a problem with that match necessarily. That's going to be a fun match to have at Blood and Guts, even though I thought Blood and Guts was going to be a one match event. Nevertheless, the match for me, and the match still may take place, so we'll see. The match for me is Kingston versus Omega, and like I think they had a ton of momentum. Eddie Kingston had a ton of momentum after he saved John Moxley from the fireworks. So Kingston has a ton of momentum, and there are a lot of people saying that they don't want to see this match, but nevertheless, because they're saying, well, it's going to be Omega's going to win. But here's the deal: Eddie Kingston can gain a ton of momentum. Excuse me, easy for me to say. Eddie Kingston can gain a ton of momentum just by being in the ring with Kenny Omega, the belt collector. Like, if he takes Omega to the limit at the next pay-per-view, that'll give him a ton of momentum. It would make Eddie Kingston, to me, a main eventer if he takes Kenny Omega to the limit. So that is what I want to see next. Hopefully we're going down that road. I can't promise you that we're going down that road, but we'll see. And speaking of AEW, keeping it on the AEW tip here, Brian Cage, how about that? So, like, a lot of times in wrestling, we just assume things as wrestling fans, and most of the time we're right about that. But nevertheless, last night, I'm watching AEW Dynamite, and it's Brian Cage versus Hangman Page, and I'm like, okay, great match, physical match, Hangman Page wins. Nevertheless, Brian Cage is the drill claw, and I'm so conditioned as a wrestling fan to think that somebody's gonna kick out of a finisher, to where I was completely surprised that Brian Cage got the win over Hangman Page with one finisher. Like, when I was a kid, Jake the Snake used to hit that DDT and it was over. So props to that. But Brian Cage gets a ton of momentum. Hangman Page was the #1 ranked guy for the heavyweight title. So I'm very interested to see where this goes with Brian Cage, because I've been a huge fan of Brian Cage, going all the way back to Lucha Underground, then in Impact, now in AEW. I feel like he is destined for more than where they have him. Excuse me. So does this fit Brian Cage up in the rankings? Hopefully it does, because Brian Cage versus Hangman Page, let me tell you, that is a future heavyweight title feud and build that I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see. So as we move on here, what is next? What do we have next? Impact Slammiversary. The wrestling world changes again. Now, there was a lot of conversation about this. There was a lot of excitement. Impact did this last year, and it on a scale of 1 to 10, it was a 10 as far as execution goes last year. I expect it to be a 10 this year. A lot of people was talking about Okada being on the slight build-up commercial, Naito being on the build-up, Mickey James Chelsea, Green, but I'm here to talk about one man. I'm here to talk about Samoa Joe because there are two people that I've always wanted to see come back home to Impact slash TNA. I wanted to see AJ Styles come back home at some point in his career and Samoa Joe. And we're right there. It could happen, and I would be through the roof excited to see Samoa Joe back. I don't know what Samoa Joe's condition is as far as injury wise, but if he can still go in the ring, like there are a ton of matches between Impact and AEW with the partnership that Samoa Joe could have a ton of dream matches that we could have Samoa Joe versus Omega, Samoa Joe versus whomever in Impact. There are a ton of guys. Samoa Joe versus Chris Bay. I could go down a whole list. Nevertheless, I would be ecstatic to see Samoa Joe back in Impact and Slammiversary, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready. This is a must-see pay-per-view. You never know. You want to know why it's must-see, not only because it's going to be great action, but because you don't know what's going to happen. Who's going to show up? That is why you should tune in to Slammiversary. That is why I am excited and through the roof. Speaking of excited, man, as we ship on young wrestlers, man, this is a take that I want to get off. We got young wrestlers just killing it in the game. Whether that's Darby Allin in his early 20s or mid 20s, Jungle Boy in his early 20s, Sammy Guevara, early 20s, mid 20s. A lot of these guys are around that age range. And there can be a situation to where we think that, okay, they are great and this is the best that they will be. However, look, man, Steve Austin, look, I'm here to say this. Steve Austin became Stone Cold. He got his biggest break, excuse me, when he was 35, 36 years old. Like, we have not seen the best of these young wrestlers yet, to be totally honest with you guys. Because where's MJF gonna be when he's 35, when he's 36, man? Like, where's he gonna be? He's already taken off at 24. You heard him say that Chris Jericho was 24, curtain jerking on Road Wide. MJF is main eventing, and I see I'm looking at Twitter Spaces right here. Got a request, Marie. I will get you on right as I'm finished with this. But MJF is killing the game. Where's he gonna be at 35, 36, 37? Like these guys are gonna be legends by the time they get to 35, 36. You look at the women. Where's Sasha Banks gonna be when she's 35, 36? Like the women are killing it. So we have not seen the best of these young wrestlers yet. They have not even touched, right? They have not even come close to their ceilings. So I am very excited as we move on here. We look back at Twitter Spaces. Okay, Marie, if you're still there, I got to do something on my end to let you in as a speaker. I think I've did. So let me see here. You should be able to speak. Okay, awesome. What you got? I'm not getting feedback. I can hear you loud and clear.
Feedback on my phone.
Oh, okay.
So wait, give me a second here.
Okay.
Let me try to my thing.
Okay.
Alright, so everybody hear me?
Yeah. Okay. I can hear you loud and clear.
So this is interesting. We're on Twitter Spaces.
Yeah. Right in the middle of a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I tuned in when you started, and then you talked about Samoa Joe, and I wanted to throw it out there that I saw him live back in Ring of Honor.
Wow.
He's a free agent. Now he is.
Wow, so that is actually Samoa Joe's home. If we're being technical about the situation, I said Impact home, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I followed his career forever, and I think coming back home to like Slammiversary, it's like coming back home for him.
Right. And I saw the first couple of wrestlers that I seen in TNA was AJ and Samoa Joe, and like I followed them, and I've seen them go. I've always wanted them to come back, and we got that chance for Samoa Joe to come back and be better than ever. So, like, I am very excited to see Slammiversary, and I would love, like, if we can have Samoa Joe come out at the end of the show. That would just be awesome.
That and then probably just because
Yo, that would be awesome if Samoa Joe is the guy to take the title off of Omega back to Impact. That would be a hell of a storyline. Like,
it would be, yeah.
that would be tremendous. So I'm very, very, very much looking forward to that. And like, as I look at my next subject, I got here Charlotte Karen Flair, thumbs up or thumbs down. What you got on that? That's a that character. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Right now it feels right for her to go around and be like, I'm the best, and have this different bravado. And I think that's help from Andrade, and it's working really well. Because if you're going to be calling her Karen, she did her job.
Yes, and for all the criticism that I've given to the booking of Charlotte Flair, like not Charlotte Flair the person, but the booking of Charlotte Flair, I gotta say, thumbs up for me. Like she's getting people to hate her, and that is her job as a heel. And like I just want her to start her promos. I said this last Monday. I just want her to start her promos with, I would like to speak to the general manager. Like, just start her promos like that every time. Just give me that. That
Just skip over the fans and be like, I want to speak to your manager.
that would be awesome. Like she's doing an incredible job, and I don't know how this is all gonna work out with Rhea Ripley and Asuka, but there's something there with Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, and I don't know if they're gonna save that for a pay per view or jump right into it. Nevertheless, I'm excited to see how it all turns out. And how about Sonya Deville letting Charlotte Flair in? That's something there. I want to see how that's gonna turn out. But Charlotte Karen Flair, thumbs up for me. Big time thumbs up for me. The next topic I have here, I got 3 left, but the next topic is RK Bro. Like RK Bro, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I don't like Riddle at all.
Me either. Me.
From the stuff that I know for being on the Indies, no. But other than that, him teaming up with Randy Orton is a waste of time. Orton doesn't need that. Orton needs to continue fighting with the Fiend.
Yes, like when we got the Riddle Orton match, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a great match. Randy Orton wins, and Riddle won. And I was like, oh my goodness. And now Orton doesn't want revenge. He wants to be a tag team, and I'm like, oh man, I already don't like Matt Riddle. Now he's gonna get some type of push after winning the United States title. So I don't like Matt Riddle. Like if it works out, then fine. But like I'm not a fan of it. I think, like you said, I think Randy Orton should be on his own, going after whomever the Fiend, going after the championship. That's what I think as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now he's just taking a paycheck and just like pushing promotions, just because he's a company guy, so he gets it.
Right.
Check every week, or however that works.
Right. You be a professional. You come in, you do your job. So as I move on here to something else I don't like, Braun Strowman. Like I don't dislike the guy personally, but like when he gets added to the title match at WrestleMania Backlash, yeah, I'm here. He gets added to the title match at WrestleMania Backlash, and Like, I am not interested in that, man. A lot of people were saying that Braun added to the title match at WrestleMania Backlash, and I'm like, no, he did not. He did not add to the WrestleMania title match at Backlash. Like, I I don't get it, man. Braun is not interesting to me. Braun is not uh, interesting to me at all, and I do not want to see him at WrestleMania Backlash. Like, no, this is not interesting to me. I am not interested at all. It's Braun Strowman. Like, I'd rather have Lashley versus Drew in a rematch than Braun Strowman. Like, we can have Drew say that if MVP didn't get involved, I would have won. Like, that is what I think should be going on here. Nevertheless, we move on to the last topic of the day. And that is NXT and NHL. Like, okay, it was told to me that NXT moved the nights because of the NHL on USA, and it turns out that the NHL is now going to be on TNT. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. And like, this whole narrative of NXT, moving nights is a farce. And like, I don't get it. And well, I mean, I do get it. I'm saying from the start that AEW was the reason that made them switch nights, and it turns out that that was the case. So this whole thing, and then like, I know there are a lot of people kind of sweeping this under the rug, but nevertheless, yeah, AEW made them move nights, man. And here's the thing, man. It's okay to say that WWE took a temporary loss. And I mean, look, they took a L. It's all right, man. So NXT, look, they are still pulling in ratings on. They're still pulling in ratings on USA. The ratings are going up, and it turned out to work out for them moving to Tuesday nights, even though they've given AEW the reins to pull in million ratings week after week after week. And I got to give AEW credit for that. As I turn to Twitter Spaces here, my Twitter Spaces went out. I don't know why, but I'm talking here about AEW and NXT moving nights. And the whole scenario was that NXT was moving nights because of NHL, and it turns out NHL is going to be on TNT. So that whole narrative was a farce. Nevertheless, it's worked out for both companies. NXT, their ratings have been going up. AEW has been pulling in a million ratings, and we'll see what the ratings are today. But they've been doing great. What's your thoughts on AEW's ratings so far as NXT moves to Tuesday night?
I think it's beneficial for both. The only problem is that because AEW doesn't have a type of competition to, make them have good shows. I mean, their shows are good, but they're good when they want to be, in my opinion. But because themselves, people are able to focus more on the show to get them to those million views.
Right, and this is my take. This was my take before. I have, as I see another request here. I'm about to let somebody else in. Hold on. Let me see here. Request approved. Okay, you should be in. Wrestling ENT, you should be in. Hold on, let me see. I think that AEW is gonna catch Raw eventually. That's my take. Like, it's not gonna happen anytime soon. And you gotta unmute your mic, Wrestling ENT, and you can speak on this as well. I think that AEW is gonna catch Raw as Raw continues to have record lows in ratings. It's not gonna happen overnight, but with AEW steadily putting in a million people on ratings, like I think they're gonna eventually catch Monday Night Raw, and that's gonna create a ruckus on Twitter because people are just looking for a reason to argue over ratings, as we all know. But nevertheless, I'll be interested to see how that turns out. That is the last topic. Overall, if you want to give some thoughts on the best thing you've seen on AEW last night, what was it for you?
I have no comment.
No comment.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. Hi, it's nice to be here. I really like the Darby versus 10, the main event, and how they handle themselves after. I mean, you can still feel that there's a lot of respect and love for still for Brody Lee. Yeah, it's awesome.
Right. I liked that match. That match was awesome. And like I was the one that wasn't sold on 10 for the longest, but he has won me over time. And that was an awesome match. I liked the aftermath of them celebrating Brody. We can't celebrate Brody enough for me. The aftermath, here's what I think is gonna happen with the TNT title. Despite the aftermath, I think Miro is gonna be the guy to come after the TNT title because I thought he was gonna be the one to destroy Darby last night, but it turned out that it was Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. We'll see how that turns out. Maybe we get a tag match with those two against Darby and Sting. I'd like to see that, but I think Miro is ultimately the guy that takes Darby out for the TNT title. What do you think is going to happen with the TNT title?
I think that in the beginning when the TNT title was suggested and we had Cody and we went through the whole motion of like him fighting this person, that person, I think the belt should probably change hands a lot more to give all the younger guys, the day one guys that they signed, a chance to hold some gold, and then we get like Darby in the end. But I think that Miro should go after the FTW championship from Brian Cage. Like Miro does not need the TNT championship because then now it feels like the never openweight championship that New Japan has. And it's like, why are we going this route? And that's what it's gonna feel like if Miro gets the TNT championship title.
Okay, I never thought about it like that. And I never even considered the FTW title. And like that would we got some guys in Team Taz that would make for just brutal Hobbs matches, whether it be Brian Cage or Hobbs. Like that would be awesome. That would. What's that? I didn't hear you.
Sorry, no, that Miro could totally step up to any of them, to either Powerhouse Hobbs or Brian Cage. I mean, it's like a strong guy versus a strong guy. I don't know. It makes sense,
Yeah, it absolutely makes sense. And then for the next pay-per-view coming up, it is slipping my mind. What's the next pay-per-view? Is it Double or Nothing? Like, yes, Double or Nothing in May. Like, I like to see that happen. So, yeah, I'm very interested to see how that turns out. Who do you think is gonna take the title? Whether you want to answer that on Impact or AEW, who is the guy to take the title off of Kenny Omega?
All the possibilities. Oh my god! As much as it pains me to say this, and I don't want him to lose any title, but no, but I don't know. On Impact, maybe Moose, and on AEW, I don't know. I mean, I would say Moxley, but Renee is due at shortly, so I don't see that happening. Maybe Hangman Page.
That is my answer as well. I think that, despite the fact that Hangman lost to Brian Cage, which totally surprised me, like I didn't even see that coming. But I think Hangman Page is the next guy. We got the ready-made storyline there. They were tag partners. Kenny went on to win the title. Hangman went down, eventually came back up with the Dark Order. And I think that's a ready-made storyline. I don't necessarily want to see it at Double or Nothing. I think that's a storyline that needs to play out over time. I like to see Kingston and Omega at Double or Nothing. But Hangman is going to be ultimately the guy to take the title off of Kenny Omega. We got another person here in the Twitter Spaces. If you would like to speak, I mean, hit the speak button, and I'll let you in on my side. But nevertheless, I've run through all my topics. Just thinking off the top of my head here, man. What else do we have here? Roman Reigns. How about this? Roman Reigns. Oh, you don't like Roman? Hey, what's wrong with Roman?
This might hurt a lot of people, but without the corporate machine, he's maybe not nothing, but he's still believable. I mean, thank you. He won't survive in any other company. No.
Like Roman, I don't know. I guess I got to play devil's advocate here. When he was a face, when they were trying to push him as a face, I thought he was non-believable. That's when I was on that route then. But him as a heel, to me, it feels like, okay, he's playing himself. Like, he doesn't feel like he's playing a character. That's himself. And I've bought into all of the stuff, the head of the table stuff, the pin him, stack him, whatever else he said. Like, I bought into it. I thought that Edge. Yeah, he calling people losers.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but if you're allegedly the head of the family, you don't go there saying acknowledge you say my name. Are you seeking validation?
Okay, yeah, that was a little awkward to me too.
That was too. We also have to think about it too, like when you grow up in a big household, if you're like, the last to be born or like or the middle child or something, and you want some attention, that's essentially what you would do. But it still doesn't have a good look if you're gonna be like, yo, I'm the head of the table, you better do what I say type of shit. Work.
I feel you. Oh, go ahead.
No,
All right, I feel you. Like, I thought, I was one to think that, you know what, if you're gonna have Edge go one to the end, you might as well put the title on him. They didn't go there. I didn't have a problem with Roman winning, but I don't think you can go back to Edge and have him win the title now. Nevertheless, I like what they have going on with Roman and Cesaro. Like, I don't think Cesaro is necessarily going to win the title, but that's a guy, man, that deserves everything to me. So I'm happy he's getting this main event, whether it's a push or not, because we have Roman versus Daniel Bryan actually coming up, and what feels like not necessarily a career on the line match, but Daniel Bryan is going to go away for a long time match. It feels like that.
It's one of those things where it's gonna play on your hearts, but you know that he's gonna end up winning in the end. Like he's playing the trend of, because of the quote unquote forbidden doors open, he's playing on everyone's heartstrings. So he's gonna go do what he wants to go do for his bucket list, but he's staying in WWE, man. Like, it was great for me to see him live half the time.
Wow.
But other than that, like, I don't even think he's want to go back to like fight some guys that he can actually have good matches with.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. If Daniel Bryan wins, like, I wouldn't have a problem with it at all. Although I would have had him win at WrestleMania if they're gonna go with Daniel Bryan this coming Friday. Is it this Friday or the next Friday? I think it's this Friday. Coming up with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. But nevertheless, I wouldn't have a problem with him winning at all. I see somebody else in the here, Simply Hill. If you want to speak, just hit the speak button. I'll let you in. But man, what else in the world of wrestling today that we have going on? I'm trying to think off the top of my head, man. AEW Blood and Guts. Like, this is a match that I'm very excited for. The Inner Circle, Pinnacle. I always want to say that the Pinnacle should win the match. They're the stable that needs to win the match because they need some credibility. And beating Chris Jericho is all the credibility in the world that you need. I think that they need to have Pinnacle win here, and then we can have Jericho and his crew eventually win a second match. What you guys thoughts? Excuse me, easy for me to say on that match and who should win.
I don't know, man. Originally, I don't think we needed the Pinnacle. I don't think MJF needed to go from one team to another team to have his own team. Like, he should have been still built up as the guy that doesn't take shit and always takes wins with Wardlow by his side only. And then later on, he could form a team and be like, this is all the knowledge I know. Here, I'm going to pass it on to you guys. FTR does not need to be in the team. They are good by themselves. And then Sean Spears needs to really get the ball rolling because he has so much potential. Circle could stay in the circle, but I will just watch it as with no expectations going in. That's how I feel about this whole build up.
All right.
Yeah, that's for the best. And also, I just thought right now, is Tony Blanchard really gonna fight? Or he's
oh man, if he does,
he's gonna win the match.
I don't know, but maybe, man, maybe a spot.
I am gonna pop for that because Tully Blanchard, he was wrestling I started watching wrestling in the early '90s, so I kind of missed out on Tully Blanchard. He was in the '80s, but I remember that slingshot suplex from Tully, and I popped for that. He did it in AEW on somebody. I cannot remember who. Yes, it was Marco.
I use Marco for everything. Blame the kid.
He did that for Marco. They just throw him around for their spots. And yeah, I popped for that slingshot suplex. I love to see Tully in this Blood and Guts match because it would definitely remind me of the Horsemen in the War Games match. So that would be super awesome. But nevertheless, I think I'm out of topics here. If y'all have anything that y'all would like to talk about, y'all can wait, we have somebody else requesting here. I'm not gonna leave you out. I'm gonna let you get in on this, man. I'm gonna let you get in. We got Renee Gadri. I am butchering that. I know. But Renee, come on in, man. What you got?
What's up?
What you got, man? Who should win the Blood and Guts match? We got Pinnacle. We got.
I think the Pinnacle, in my opinion, because they are the newest faction in AEW, so they should get the win. But I feel like the Inner Circle should also win to I don't know, but I'm very excited on this match.
I feel
the Pinnacle should win to solidify as their big
right
protective run.
Right. And I'm totally with you on that. I feel like Pinnacle should win here as well, and I feel like the War Games matches, whether they be in WCW or NXT, we got it now in AEW, they just go for 45, 50 minutes. And I kind of feel like this is going to be a 40-minute match, and it's just going to be crazy. And it says Blood and Guts. Somebody going to get busted open. So I'm very excited about that. And yeah,
Chat shots.
What's up?
Sean Spears better use a chair in this match either way, because he's got this whole chairman gimmick. He doesn't use the chair shot. Yeah, so he should use the chair shot once or twice in the match, not particularly to the head because
Right. You can't have that.
concussions that could happen to it. Maybe like, a chest or a back, something of a chest shot, to make it more like of a hardcore stipulation, in my opinion. But like, this is AEW we're talking about. This is the same company that did John Moxley versus Omega. They did John Moxley versus Jojo Hella. They did so many crazy that
Yeah.
don't know what to expect.
Somebody's getting busted open. Like it just is what it is. That is what's gonna happen.
Most likely.
Yeah. Who else we got? Get Your Comedy Podcast. The brothers are in here. If y'all want to speak, I am not. You got to hit the speak button to say something. If not, it's cool. They can listen in. They can listen. It is not mandatory, but if you would like to, I see requested. So hold on, let me see here. Approve. Okay, you should be in. Let me see here. You should be in, brother. We were talking about the well, wherever you want to go, you can go. But we were talking about the blood and guts match. Who should win, Pinnacle or Inner Circle? But yeah, you got it if you want, man. It says speaker, but maybe you have your speaker muted, or I know one. Oh, okay. Whatever you think, man. Blood and guts. Who you got? Yes. Yeah. Yes, I'm a. Like what about like the fake blood that in WWE that Roman had one time? Like no.
That like Shayna Baszler looking blood.
Man, yes, I'm a fan of early '90s, in the '90s. So yeah, I'm a big War Games fan, and people used to get busted open in War Games. So yeah, that better be what it is. That better be what it is.
Not the blood and blood that they had about. I mean, I love them, but that's
yeah. So moving on to. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say that. I'm not sure if you were gonna say this next, but we do have to talk about how history is being made. That Nagata is gonna be going for the IWGP United States Championship title against John Moxley, and Nagata.
See, I'm not familiar, as strange as it may sound. I'm not familiar with Nagata because I got into New Japan when Jericho came along. So that
I'm your girl to help you out.
Okay, take it away.
Well, Nagata, like he even appeared in WCW at one point with Sonny Ono.
Wow.
Like really early back then, because right now he's wrestling at the age of 53. He can still go. He just faced Young Lion Tsuji during the New Japan Cup of 2021, which was an okay match. But he had faced like Kurt Angle in the past for the IWGP Championship title, and then also. So he's known as Blue Justice in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he has a very historic career. I can't remember if he held either the IWGP Intercontinental or probably heavyweight as well. But him facing Moxley is very historic. I want to see how well he can keep up with Moxley, but Moxley's probably going to adapt to his style, though, because Moxley has that. He's able to adapt to everyone's style.
Right. Okay, then. I'm very excited to see it. I guess I didn't get so far into Moxley to where I'm expecting a death match or blood every time, to where like when it's a regular match, I'm like, oh, okay, but what a regular match can do, with the way you explained it, I'm very excited to see Nagata, and
Yeah, I'm excited for that too.
so that is going to be very interesting. I think at this point, it is very up in question as to who will win the match. Like,
well, most likely, as much as I want Nagata to win it and take the belt back to New Japan so we can have some more stories, especially with the young lions that are coming up because they're all frustrated in their opening tag matches and shit. I know that John is going to probably keep it. As far as who's going to challenge him next, I'm not entirely sure who I would want. However, man could just get another title shot against the IWGP because he lost against Jay White back in 2017 when they fought. So maybe Hangman could probably go after it next.
that would be very exciting. So, Hangman versus Mox, yeah, put me down for that. Like, put me down for that. I would be very much into that. So,
I was gonna mention quickly that because now Moxley is able to defend the IWGP championship more, he should be able to get the okay from New Japan to have him face against AEW people. Because if he can't really travel to Japan, what's the point of holding on to the damn belt? You got champion for it, I just want the belt to be taken off of Moxley so we can get stories going. That's all.
right, go ahead.
Sorry, no, or maybe I don't know, Zack Sabre Jr. I don't know, the checkers right now. They're having I don't know, Tamatonga and Tangaloa are giving them the hardest time of their lives. I don't really think they're going to take the titles away from them.
So basically, the story with that can get you guys caught up with that. So back in during the Castle Attack series over in New Japan Pro Wrestling that happened in February to March. Dangerous Checkers, but Dangerous Checkers lost only because of the Iron Fingers getting in the way, and the Iron Fingers have mystical powers that Tai Chi has, and it takes over. He becomes a different person. They got a DQ. They didn't get the titles from GOD. GOD is like, you guys are not getting it from us. Like, don't even try. And then during the Road to Dontaku series, that's when they started to pick it back up. It's the same story again. However, come May 3rd for Wrestling Dontaku, it's going to be a ladder match between Tamatonga and Tai Chi for the Iron Fingers. Whoever gets the Iron Fingers will retire after that match, which is a good thing. But the other thing too is that if Zack Sabre Jr. can defeat Loa in their singles match, because both of these teams have singles matches on the 3rd. If Zack Sabre Jr. can defeat Loa, that means that May 4th they get their championship title shot. And no, you guys are not going to get that. That's not going to happen.
That is very interesting. Like,
I've been covering New Japan since January, like really full.
wow, I didn't slip on New Japan. I really got to get back into it and get caught up on the storylines more regularly than I currently am. So I'm gonna get the new.
Wow.
Following basically because I'm seeing like the backstage commentary and the highlights. Yeah. And I'm seriously considering paying New Japan World. I mean, it's totally worth it.
It's way better than the WWE Network. And I only say that because you get a lot more content. The only problem is that if New Japan Pro Wrestling does not have a televised show, you won't be able to see it. So there was like a whole video. Oh my god, it's because of the main place in Tokyo. They kind of own like the freaking news stations around it. They own like Hurricane Hall and like the rest of the places in Tokyo and like Osaka and like Hiroshima, so you'll be able to see it. But if they're going to like some other place, oh my god, they won't even televise it. Like no one can stream it.
Oh
Like,
wow,
that sucks.
that's crazy, man.
I missed some important matches because I praise heavily the Young Lions, and one of them is Gabriel Kidd, and he has 2 victories over his Young Lion. I was like, I couldn't be able to praise him. Like, come on.
Like Gabriel, formerly of in WWE.
No, Gabriel. No.
Okay, I got them mixed up.
You did, but like if I say Young Lions, they're going through the dojo system, and they basically come from like like either New Zealand or like Britain. They come over. No, nothing from WWE because WWE is not sending guys over to.
Oh no,
the dojo.
I said Gabriel, formerly of WWE.
Oh no, not even.
Okay. Okay, but that's awesome though. I see some more hands going up, and I don't know if that is. It's not telling me that they are requesting. So okay, I see requested. Okay, let me see on my end what they give me the test. Approve. We got Revenant Resurrected. So I'm approving. You should be in, big dog. Hold on. Okay, his mic is muted. Man, a lot of topics. Whatever you want to speak on. We were talking about Blood and Guts, Pinnacle versus Inner Circle. A lot of topics I done brought up here. Charlotte, Karen, Flair. We got some New Japan talk. Braun being added to the title match at WrestleMania Backlash. How crazy is that name? So whatever you want to speak on those topics, you can take it away.
New Japan.
Okay.
All right, take it away.
Yeah.
Swear to God, we have the UG versus Moxley match coming up next Wednesday. Hopefully UG could make this. Hopefully UG could bring back the US title for New Japan. I'm just saying.
That's exactly what I said.
That's you and Marie on the same page.
Yeah.
Maria, you got your points across. Swear to God, too sweet. You got your points across. I mean, I missed a lot during the conversation because I was still knocked out.
It's all good.
But swear to God, we are getting a lot of great matches with Blood and Guts, and then we have WrestleMania, Backlash with a triple threat match. I mean, with the system that we're getting with wrestling nowadays, not just with the flippy stuff and not just with, I talked with Eric Teamer, who's a wrestling fan as well. I talked with him. He's the voice of Ryuji for Toradora. He's also the voice of, so many other characters, including Igoro for Demon Slayer. So really, I talked with him yesterday about the possible partnership with WWE and Crunchyroll. Doing an anime together, which
wow.
That blew his mind. That blew my mind when I knew about it, because I knew about it like about a few weeks ago. I know about it a few weeks ago because that was a part of my predictions, and thank God my predictions went through. They went through. Even with the prediction last week with Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman versus Bobby Lashley. How many predictions am I gonna be making this year? How many predictions am I making this year? Because Wrestle Silent and I are part of a group with Hybrid, Enigma, and the others. And for God's sake, I've been making prediction after prediction after prediction, and my prediction is this: even though the pinnacle
consisting of Sean Spears, FTR, Wardlow, and MJF, they are the top young guys of the wrestling business. Then you have Santana and Ortiz, formerly being a part of LAX, Latin American Exchange, now being a part of the Inner Circle. Then you have Jake Hager, formerly known as Jack Swagger. Personally, you got Inner Circle having more experience.
This is true.
You have one experienced dude, Sammy Guevara. I love Sammy.
Same here.
The guy. I love Sammy because even though he's not just a face, he's not just a pretty boy, but literally he has the charisma. He has the talking talent of a heel. He has the talking talent of a babyface during his YouTube channel. But literally, not just with BTE, not just with everything with Sammy's YouTube channel and BTE, with their YouTube channel. Swear to God, we have combustible elements.
Yes, we do.
I mean, personally, I do want Inner Circle to win, but I already have a side bet saying the Pinnacle will win. So I have a main pot, meaning Inner Circle could win, and then the side pot meaning.
Are you covering your bets?
Yep, I'm covering them. I'm just covering the bets, saying that match could happen. And then we have the QT Marshall versus Cody Rhodes match, which
dude's fighting on a bus. I know what killed me. Aubrey got on the bus with him. Aubrey's on the bus like, y'all need to stop. Get off top of the bus. That's all I want to see. That killed me, man. But nevertheless, you touched on two things, man. I'm in a prediction league as well. We do, they do WWE pay-per-views. I tend to get them right too. But that and another thing you talked about the style of wrestling these days. And you talked about how it's flippy a lot. And like when you see something that's counterculture to that, that's, pretty interesting. It brought me back to AJ Styles and his partner, Almost. He's just like not the prototypical big man that you see these days that can really fly around and can do topes. He wrestles like the big man that was around when I was a kid. And you know what? I kind of like that. When you see somebody that's not, able to flip around, got somebody that can, use the strengths that Almost has and wrestle slow. So, yeah.
So basically, a Giant Gonzalez. Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be that slow. But yeah, kind of something like that.
This should be a regular thing, man. It should be a regular thing with all of us, just talking about wrestling and, talking about anime or just talking, or just talking regular stuff, man.
Speaking of anime, I don't know if this counts as an anime, but there's a show called Invincible that
Okay. Is it on Netflix? No, it's actually on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. But
which personally, I've actually seen bits and pieces of it. I really like it. Steven Yeun, J.K. Simmons. I really enjoy it because it's a superhero anime series, and it's for Oh wait, I think I know. Okay. Yeah.
It is dark.
I think I know. It's dark. It's like real dark.
Like it's not an animated series for the kids to watch.
No, it is not.
Not at all.
It's actually a good interpretation of why superheroing, being a superhero / being a vigilante, it's a tough job. Even for parents or their children. I mean, take for example, My Hero Academia, which we have, Class 1A and Class 1B, trying to outdo each other. I've actually met the voice of Davi Jason Lieber, and personally, after all the controversy that was regarding him because of Jason replacing Vic and everything, I personally believe Jason could make a huge difference to his own career, and proving that he is what he says he is, not just with his voice talents for Mordecai, for the Borderlands series, but also for his voice acting for Norman Gunn, My Hero Academia, some of the other stuff that he's been in.
I haven't got into My Hero Academia yet. What is that worth getting into?
It's actually kind of a good thing because it kind of takes elements from Marvel. It takes elements from Marvel Comics and DC Comics as well, but mostly Marvel with X-Men. So that's the kind of trigger that pretty much makes sense.
Okay.
Back to the wrestling. Back to the announcement of Crunchyroll and WWE and wrestling in general. I mean, honestly, I actually have my doubts about the whole deal about the partnership, but really my doubts are that the anime wrestling portion of it could be lackluster,
right?
Or it couldn't, or it won't be as hyped up enough that people would be invested in. I mean, people were so invested with the Tiger Mask anime that my cousins actually wanted me to watch it, and literally I'm getting around to it, and from what I've seen from clips from Crunchyroll, it is absolutely awesome that we're finally getting something made.
Right.
I mean,
go ahead.
It's branching out, but really you have to look at the fact. You have to look at the factors of animation studios and who's gonna be a part of the cast and everything else. You
right.
You have to look, and you also have to look at budget too. You also have to look at budget as well.
Yeah, I gotta say, WWE is doing anime. I'm a big anime fan. I'll give it a chance to see what it's like. Like, I won't get my hopes through the roof. Normally when that happens, they get crushed. But like it goes back to when certain guys start getting pushed. Like, who can I put? Like Cesaro. Before all this happened, like Cesaro get a little bit of a push. My hopes to get through the roof. It's like whenever he was around Heyman or the We the People when he was with Hager. My hopes to get through the roof, then crushed. He goes down in that, and next thing you know, he ain't catering. Like, so. So yeah, I don't get my hopes up no more, man.
Maybe if like the anime is all about what happens at catering, because we don't know what happens at catering. It's like the best story ever. Exactly.
I would watch that.
Be like, yo, what's happening at catering? Things you don't know. No.
I would definitely watch that just for a good laugh. Like, I would check that out, man. I would definitely check that out. But we're an hour in, man, and man, I guess I gotta call it. I don't want to call it. Like, if we get into one more subject, then I'll call it. Just off the top of my head, I'm thinking, geez, where could we go? I'm not entirely sure where we go. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and call it, man. Thank y'all for coming in. Like, next week, I'm gonna be doing this probably next Thursday. So y'all come on in and do it again. Check it out. This is gonna be on YouTube and all of the platforms as well. I'll post it up. Y'all check it out. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Check it out. We'll definitely check out the highlights. And, personally, I'm bringing up the highlights points. But for a lot of reasons, This should be a regular thing for all of us, and we should definitely know all of us Too Sweet, with that's so with Marie, and myself, four of us, we should, come up with topics, have a discussion with the four of us, tend Twitter, and decide what kind of topics we should talk about. All right. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Twitter just gave me Twitter spaces because I asked them to tweet. So I don't know. That's all.
My thing kind of cut off while right there. Running. I missed. It is agreed. What are we agreeing on again?
We're agreeing on a four-way DM chat. If we could trade topics and see what pops into our heads.
It is agreed. I'm with it.
Especially if you do these spaces and help you out and stuff.
Right. This is the first podcast where I've been able to take a breath. Like.
Maybe we could get Cherish in here. Maybe we could get Cherish in here, and maybe we could get Enigma in here, and we could try to figure something out.
Right. So I have up to 10 spots available so far. Like I've seen certain spaces have like hundreds of people, so maybe it'll grow to that. But as it stands right now, I got up to 10 spots. So.
I think that once Twitter gives you a blue check mark, you probably get 100.
Oh, that sucks. Well, it'll be 10 spaces. Well, I mean, hey, it's 6 spots or 5 spots open to whomever wants to come in. So still room to go with us.
Yeah.
I'll mostly be here next Thursday, and we could talk about whatever.
All right.
All right.
I had fun with it.
Yes, same here. Same. Oh man, anytime. Y'all come back anytime.
Of course. We'll see you next week then.
All right, next week. I will see y'all.
See you next week. Sweet.
See y'all.
Bye.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that is episode 121 of the Too Sweet Podcast. Come back next Thursday. Have some fun with your boy. We are out on this thing an hour and 6 minutes in. Ladies and gentlemen, can't wait to do it next week. So come on in.